And here, for all you Rickenbacker fans out there and members of the Rickenbacker Resource Forum, is a very short and poorly tuned demonstration of my RM1999 bass. Now, this is just being recorded through a 25 watt Fender amp. The EQ is flat and the volume is quite low, but it'll still give an indication of the true sound of these instruments. Now, the RM1999 as the bass came out in 1964 for the British market. It's the obvious differences are it doesn't have the sort of sparkly shark's fin inlays, and it doesn't have binding, and it has a minimalist look. Now, many people find that more appealing. I certainly do. Now, the other thing about these instruments, they seem to be, every well-known British bass player of the time picked one up and used it. Most of them broke theirs, but Sir Paul's and Chris Squire's still survive to this day. They do seem to sound different to other Rickenbackers, and I don't know the exact reason why, but they have a sound of their own. My own feeling is it's something to do with the bit more wood in the neck, and the toaster pickup seems to do something. This is the sound of the toaster. It's just by itself. Tone full up, you get. Has a sort of very clear sound, but it's also warm. Now, Sir Paul decided, well, he liked the sound of that, but he wanted a little bit more thump out of it. He just rolled the tone back a bit. He used flat wound strings, but then you get. Fairly obvious one there. Chris Squire came along. He decided he wanted it to be very bright sounding, so he put round wound strings on it, and therefore he sort of so on, you know. And that's just by changing the tone and changing your angle of attack, I suppose, on the plectrum. Now, the other pickup on these is the toaster. No, not the toaster. That's the toaster. That's the horseshoe. Horseshoe is named after the horseshoe magnets that are sort of surrounding the bobbin. There was a carryover of sorts from the lap steel guitars. A very early design pickup. Very distinctive sound. This one works today. Not particularly reliable pickup, and you seem to they're fairly high maintenance thing. They do have that sound that is again part of the whole equation. There's not a lot of bottom end going on with that, but there's certainly a lot of sparkle to it. I guess the other sound is when both are on together. There's that other recognisable bit of music that you get with them. And of course the even more obvious one. So this is just a plectrum I'm using for these. Again, I've not really heard another bass that sounds quite like this one, or these ones. I guess that's part of the appeal of them. Many bass players pick them up and think, well, it doesn't have a lot of low end, or it's got plenty of low, it doesn't have a lot of low mids. Again, you can play them with fingers if you want to. It sort of behaves a bit funny if you do, but anyhow. So on, but I find for these the plectrum's where it's at. Anyhow, that is a very short but hopefully slightly informative demo of the RM1999.